Thanks for joining this technical session for HomeBuilder. The subject today is predefined packages. This is part of the selection package system, also known as color chart selections, various names. The tool which we're going to be talking about is a more complex tool than exists in many other parts of the systems. And so by its requirements, this particular session is quite technical, particularly for the first 2 or 3 minutes, where we will be exporting some information and importing it. If you just want to see how to use predefined packages, skip forward a couple of minutes. What we're going to do is take an example of a standard color chart selection, and we're going to dump that data into Excel, and then we're going to use a configuration package to import the data into a predefined package. The video probably moves a bit too quickly for you to do it directly on your system at the same time as setting up, so you may need to pause from time to time, but I don't want to spend forever on this for those that don't particularly want to see it. What I'm in is a demo database, and I want to create a sample package, selections package, based upon one of my models. In this database, there are no predefined packages that currently exist. I'm going to base my package on the results of the DAISY model for phase 1. What that effectively means is that it's a fairly small property with only 23 house areas, not too many. There's quite a few items which go to making it up, and a decent number of categories. It's just not massive, and it's a decent representative view of the things that we can look at. The very first thing I need to do is actually go to a lot which has this model on it and create a standardized selection package. So let's open up the lots. There's 17 of them for this particular model, and in it I know that there are none for this particular group, so I'm just going to go into lot 22 and create myself a selection package. So when I go, edit the list, choose a date, and there we go. That's the initial creation of the package. I'm going to go into choices, and I'm going to click on populate. What the system does, goes out and counts all the model items, determines a summary of how many categories there are for all of these model items, and for each of the items, which house areas exist on the item and exist in the model. So I've got this nice list here. I'm just going to throw this information into Excel, open that up, and that actually is opening up on my other screen just to quickly demonstrate it. This is what it looks like, and this is going to be the basis for the creation of my color chart selection. So I don't need this any longer. I'm just going to go ahead, Control A to delete them all, or click on select more and delete the top parts. So that's the other way of doing it. Click on delete, close this out. Right, let's go back out of here into what are called configuration packages. If you want to create your own, feel free. If you want to contact your HomeBuilder consultant, please do. And they will ship you this package. But essentially, it's fairly simple. Use these two table IDs. 7052 indicates a HomeBuilder, and 6289 is for the package. 6292 is for the line. And we're just using, lots of every field that's available. That's all we're bringing in here. There are some records in the database. There was some previously handled information. I don't care about any of that. You'll see that there are no current database records. So all I'm doing is I'm exporting this Excel file as a template. Let's go ahead and do that. And it opens up here. And I'm going to drag this Excel sheet over onto this tab over here. Now, what I want to do is I want to take this existing package, which has, I'm going to add some complexity into this. I want to do flooring as one predefined package and everything else as another predefined package. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my original sheet. I'm going to deselect everything, and I'm going to select the 3 flooring categories that I have and just filter to that value set. I'm going to move this back over here, and I'm going to create a code called floor But I'm actually going to be even more complicated. I'm going to create one called Floor Upgrade 1. So flooring upgrade 1. Just going to widen these columns so we can see what we're looking at. This code here will be capitalized automatically by the system. All codes are. The description will stay as I've entered it. So what I want to do is I'm first going to create this package line Floor Upgrade 1. Highlight everything here, double click between the column headings to widen everything to the right area. Now what I'm going to do back over on my other sheet, which you're not looking at, I'm going to copy over the house area and category code from that filtered list that I was looking at and paste it in here. So that's it, just 30 lines with a couple of different, 3 different category codes and a bunch of house areas. I'm happy with that. And there are no item numbers here at this point in time. I'm fine with that. And there are, actually on my sheet, there is actually nothing that's mandatory. So I'm just not going to fill that in. So I've got it here. I'm going to call this line number 1, this one line number 2, and then I'm going to use Excel's function to copy down so that I have 14 lines. Doesn't matter that they're left and right justified. It's just one's classified as text, one as a number. The import into Business Central doesn't mind. It will correct it. So let's go ahead and copy this package code down here. So that's my first package created, the package here plus the lines. Let's go and do another one. This one I'm going to call default. And I bring it into every single model, and you'll notice as I enter it, the table has expanded itself, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and just copy that over, make sure I don't make a spelling mistake, and go on to this next line down. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my sheet, the one which I was copying from, and let's turn everything back on, but this time I'm going to turn off the flooring. I don't want the flooring as part of my default. And so I've created that list, and I now go back to my house area codes, and I will select the whole range. So the house area code is here, and that is copied in to give me a bunch more lines. Now on this particular one, I do have item numbers which I'm asking as default, so that's fine. I'm going to copy them over, and let's do that. So I start over here. These are the item numbers. Some of them have default variants. That's fine. I'll copy them over too, and some of them don't. It really doesn't matter whether you copy the variant over, and I'm going to demonstrate that in a second. But before I get into that one, I'm going to start, again, remember we're on the new set of package lines, line number 1, line number 2, and I'm just going to copy these down so that I have the correct number of line numbers for the default package. Copy this down here, and there we go. A couple of hotkeys which I can help you with if ever we speak directly. So I have created, I intend to, when I import, create 2 predefined packages and the lines which relate to them. So I'm just going to close and save this sheet, and then I'm going to come back into my configuration package. It just landed me back into Business Central again, and I'm going to import from Excel. So let's do that, and this gives me my starting list. So it says, what have you got? You've got these 2 things. Do you want to import them? Yes, I do. Tells me that there's some information that's going to be overwritten by the import. I'm absolutely fine with that. And it tells me I had 2 records. That's great. And 65 package records. Lovely. Happy to see that. So let's just go ahead and apply that package in its entirety. And I want to create the predefined packages. So the system said, okay, I did most of it. I've got some errors. Let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at this package error. Okay, so nothing seems obvious quite yet. Let's show the error. Okay, and it tells me that I have a super level category code. So clearly what someone has done is left an old category code there, made some adjustments to the system, and they've not updated the items. You know, a little bit of data maintenance, which is a bit messy. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it lie. I'm not going to bring in those countertops. I'm going to fix them manually after the fact. So I'm now done with this configuration package. Right, now we're on to more normal setup. Let's go and have a look at what it did. I'm going to just do a search at the top of the menu for predefined packages. And there it is. It brings them up for me. Here's my default. Here's my flooring upgrade. Let's handle the error messages first. They were all related to non-flooring items. Let's click into the package lines. The system actually creates the record for me here. I can clearly see it's in the group of bedroom 2. So I'm just going to copy this. We're using F8, and then let's go and select countertop. And if you notice, if I do this, it says same message. You can't do that. So let's go ahead and choose a countertop type which is more correct. I probably ought to go and look at the item, but I just want to get past the error for now. So I'm going to say that's a laminate countertop. And then let's just say, you know what, in the bathroom main, I'm not even going to allow it. This is a great example of the predefined packages. The system may have automatically determined you're supposed to make a bathroom main choice for countertops, and I'm saying, no, I don't even want that to be part of my default. Just don't bring it in. It doesn't matter. These number series are now a little out of sequence. If that matters to you, change it. It doesn't matter to the system. And let's go a little further, and let's just say, you know what, I'm going to delete. I held the shift key down to select all 4. I'm going to delete these kitchen islands. I don't want to make a choice for kitchen islands, so I'm simplifying my list a little bit, but I'm going to keep everything else. Let's now go to flooring upgrade 1. Now, the idea behind this would be normally that I'd create upgrade 2, upgrade 3, upgrade 4, and there's a copy to new function at the top here. So importing is really only helpful for the first one. It's not particularly necessary for subsequent ones. But I'm going to go to the package lines for the flooring upgrade 1, and I'm going to select predetermine the item. No, not for wool. I haven't established carpet. I haven't established an upgrade level 1 for carpet. Let's see whether I did for tiles. And I've got an upgrade 2, but I have established a flooring tile standard. Let's just say that is my floor tiles standard. My expectation, it's not necessarily the case, my expectation is that it's the same item number. I just press F8 and there you go, accepted it. So I got the same item number for the same upgrade level for all of those items. Let's clear this filter. And I'm now going to go and set up the flooring hardwood laminate. So let's go into here, and I can say, good, here's my upgrade 1, happy with that. And I'll copy the same down using the F8 key. And so I've now predetermined a series of items in here. Now, I'm not going to determine the variant. I want the customer service person to pick the variant for the customer, for the home buyer. But I am going to help them out and put all the upgrade 1s in. So I've made a series of changes, and you know what, I may actually turn around and say, I actually don't even want to force the person to do carpet selections. You know, add it manually. If you want to pick a carpet, add it manually. So let's just get rid of that. So now what I've done here, let me clear that filter. And you can see, all right, so for upgrade level 1 predefined package, I don't bring in carpets. I'm going to manually add that if someone wants it. But I am saying these are the tiles and hardwoods that I want. That's done. So let's go ahead and see how this works. I'm going to go back to the model that I was in, and it was the phase 1 Daisy model. And let's go and add the predefined packages to the model. I could have pushed them from the packages, but in this case, I'm here already, so let's just go ahead and do that. And I'm going to have 2 packages. I don't have to select both packages. I'm just saying you can use either of these predefined packages here. And probably what I would do if I completed my data setup, I'd have an upgrade 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so on and so on. For me, I've just got these 2. Let's go and see what this looks like in the actual selection on a lot. I'm going to go back into the lots. And I might as well go back into the same lot that I was in, lot number 22. I created the package, I deleted the contents from it. So I might as well just go and do the same thing. Let's click into my choices. And instead of clicking on populate, I'm going to add predefined. So let's go and add my default one to start with. And it goes out and it finds my more limited range that I have, just 30 odd lines, give or take. And you can see in here that it's added all the same information that we had in based upon the populate from in exactly the same way that we had it. So I'm happy with this selection. It's actually also renumbered the reference number for this particular lot, and that's the way that reference numbers work. So I'm able to go and pick all the things that I may want in here as a lots person, you know, whatever I may want to have in here. But let's pretend that this is all completed, and I'm now going to add the second package in. Remember, this is different than the first time because I actually picked some items I wanted to default in based upon this predefined package. So let's click Add Choices, and you'll see in here that it's added in the flooring, but still sorted the list in the original format it's supposed to be sorted in, which is house area code followed by category. You'll notice that it's automatically added in the flooring tile. Let's go and see what it's added in for flooring hardwood and laminate. It's added this in. You'll also notice that it added these additional items. Now, when I did the original one, I hadn't actually made the selection here. But because I've made the selection, the system says, oh, okay, when you install flooring hardwood laminate as an upgrade, you've also got to go and sell some trim and some quarter round. Okay, it's fine. And it tells me you don't need to make a selection for trim and quarter round, but you do need to make a selection for the variant of flooring hardwood. That's this red star here. So I'm going to go and choose maple, and off we go. So it's gone and resorted everything, reorganized the whole list for us in the way that we want. You'll notice that the reference numbers, as a final remark in this, the reference numbers are just a little off now because I had two different packages. Before I go printing anything and locking in reference numbers, I may wish to renumber the reference numbers. There's a little useful tool in here under the actions, and what it does is it says, okay, based upon house area followed by category, let's reorganize these reference numbers. So there we go. I've now got my work with the purchaser, the home buyer, to go and make my selections. Thanks very much for watching.